Friends, welcome back once again in the video lecture series of operating system. Its subject code is 1618305. Today I am going to teach you unit number 2. Its name is process, and under this video I am going to teach you scheduling algorithm part 2. Right? This is my name and my designation. So let us start the video. But before starting the video, let us discuss what are the important topics that we are going to discuss in this uh, video. First of all, I will emphasize on what is the basic difference, what is primitive and what is non-primitive scheduling. Then I will try to differentiate between these two. First of all, I will give the definition, and then I will try to differentiate it. Next, I will try to take shortest remaining time first, which is also known as primitive scheduling algorithm, right? Next, I will discuss about advantages and disadvantages. Later on, I will try to teach you about shortest job first, or which is also known as SJF CPU scheduling, which is non-preemptive, right? And what is that? This is known as your SRTF only, but in the different way. Next, I will try to teach you about priorities CPU scheduling with different arrival time, right? Okay, after discussing all these things, I will try to explain the whatever that contents I have already taught you in this video in summary section, and certainly I will give you the good references also. So let's start with the first one, the difference, the definition between primitive and non-primitive schedule algorithm. So let's start with the primitive one. So the primitive is used to when the process switch from running state to ready state or waiting state to ready state. See, I'm taking the topic, but I'm giving the some deeper concept. So whenever we are changing the state from running to ready or from waiting to ready, it is known as your primitive schedule. The resources, mainly CPU, is allocated with the process for the limited amount of time and then is taken away. See, CPU is always executing the process with the limited amount of time, because all the time is not given to the one process. Otherwise, we cannot maintain the multi-programming concept. So, limited time is allocated for the CPU for the execution to a particular process. After that, it will release the process. Right? The process may again go back to the ready queue. Right? Right? If it is not having any, if it is having some more burst time, अगर उसका बर्स्ट टाइम फिर भी अगर बच जाएगा, तो दोबारा से वो कहाँ चला जाएगा, वो रेडी क्यू में जाकर के पीछे वो लग जाएगा. ठीक है. So that is the process stay in the ready queue till it gets the next chance to execute. Very simple. That means वो दोबारा वो उस रेडी क्यू में अपने समय का इंतजार करेगा कि वो उसका समय कब आता है. अच्छा, इस तरीके के एल्गोरिथम्स जो होते हैं, बेसिकली वी आर यूजिंग इन आरआर. आरआर इज व्हाट, राउंड रॉबिन scheduling algorithm. And next one is your shortest remaining time first, right, which is the uh, primitive scheduling algorithm of SGF, right? And priority is normally it is in the primitive version. Okay, so let's talk about next scheduling, that is non-primitive. What is non-primitive? That means the scheduling is used when the process is terminates or the process switches from running to waiting state, right? So non-primitive means what? सीपीयू दूसरा प्रोसेस को तब एग्जीक्यूट करेगा जब फर्स्ट प्रोसेस या नहीं तो पूरी तरीके से कंप्लीट होकर के मेमोरी को छोड़ दे, या नहीं तो स्वतः वो रनिंग से वो वेटिंग स्टेट में चले जाए, तो उसको हम लोग क्या कहेंगे, दैट विल बी योर नॉन प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग, राइट. In this scheduling, one of the resources, basically we are talking about CPU, is allocated to a process and the process holds the CPU till it gets terminated or reaching to the waiting state. एक CPU, एक प्रोसेस CPU को तब तक होल्ड करेगा पर्टिकुलर दिस नॉन प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग में, जब तक से कि वो वेटिंग स्टेट में ना चला जाए। ठीक है, वेटिंग स्टेट में जाने का मतलब ये है कि वो नॉन प्रिम्प्टिव शेड्यूलिंग। In the case of non-preemptive scheduling, uh, it does not interrupt a process running CPU in the middle of the execution. See, this is a very important thing. नॉन प्रिम्प्टिव में अगर कोई नया अगर प्रोसेस अगर आ रहा है तो वो पहले जो प्रोसेस जो एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है वो उसको कभी भी इंटरप्ट नहीं करेगा. It waits till the process completes its burst time or it is allocated to the next process. Right? तो नया प्रोसेस तब तक वेट करेगा जब तक से कि पहला प्रोसेस कंप्लीट ना हो जाए, पहली चीज, या नहीं तो वो वेटिंग स्टेट में ना चलेगा. So one of the best algorithm of non-preemptive is your SJF. SJF is also known as shortest job first, right? Okay, fine. So ये कुछ एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल मैंने लिया है प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग का, और यहाँ मैंने प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग को मैंने लिया है और इसी को हम लोग नॉन प्रिमिटिव में हम लोग बाद में देखेंगे. ठीक है, ओके. सो P0, P1, P2, P3 है, और यहाँ इसके अराइवल टाइम्स कुछ मैंने चेंज कर दिया है, 3201 है, और इसका जो है 2464 इसका CPU बर्स्ट टाइम है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल किसको लेगा, P2 को लेगा, जो जिसका अराइवल टाइम सबसे कम है. ठीक है, जो पहले आया था. उसके बाद P3 को लेगा, P3 ये 1 पे आया था. उसके बाद P0 को लेगा, जो कि यहाँ सॉरी यहाँ एक छोटी सी गलती है यहाँ पे, यहाँ इसको P2 को P1 को लेना चाहिए था और उसके बाद वो P2 को लेगा, राइट, क्योंकि इसका अराइवल टाइम बिल्कुल लेट आया था, और इसके हिसाब से ही फिर इसका जॉइंट चार्ट बनेगा. सो फर्स्ट के लिए हमारा वेटिंग टाइम 0 हो जाएगा, सेकंड के लिए हमारा 1 हो जाएगा, थर्ड के लिए हमारा P0 के लिए 5 हो जाएगा, P1 के लिए 7 हो जाएगा और P2 के लिए हमारा 11 हो जाएगा. So let's talk about the difference between primitive and non-primitive in a better way. So in non-primitive scheduling, the CPU is allocated to the process for the limited time, whereas in non-primitive, the CPU is allocated to the process till it terminates or switches to the waiting state. सबसे पहली बात क्या है, प्रिमिटिव का मतलब है कि CPU के पास एक लिमिटेड टाइम होता है एक प्रोसेस को देने का, इसके बाद वो प्रोसेस को छोड़ देता है तो प्रोसेस को, वैसे शेड्यूलिंग को हम लोग प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग कहते हैं. एंड नॉन प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग इज द शेड्यूलिंग व्हेन द सीपीयू डज नॉट लीव द प्रोसेस until the process execution terminates, or second thing that it should goes to the waiting state, right? The execution process in primitive scheduling is interrupt in the middle of execution. That means in primitive scheduling, interrupt is possible. That if the higher priority job come in between, then we have to stop the earlier execution. Whereas execution in the execution progress in non-primitive scheduling is not interrupt in the middle of execution, and it waits till execution. Means what? In non-primitive scheduling, if the process, if the new process is having higher priority, still if we are using non-primitive scheduling, then also the higher priority job will not be entertained or interrupt will not be happen, right? In primitive scheduling, there is the overhead of switching of the process from ready to running and vice versa, and maintain the ready queue. प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग में एक चीज होता है कि वी हैव ए बर्डन कि कितनी बार कॉन्टेक्ट स्विचिंग हो रहा है, कॉन्टेक्ट स्विचिंग के बाद वो कहाँ जा रहा है, क्या उसका स्टेटस है. ये चीजें हमेशा से एक हेडेक रहती है. वेयरएज इन नॉन प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग देयर इज नो सच टाइप ऑफ ओवरहेड, नो सच टाइप ऑफ हेडेक इज देयर इन switching the process from switching the CPU from one process to another process. In primitive scheduling, if a higher priority job is arriving in the ready queue, then the low priority job will be replaced, right? जबकि नॉन प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग में ऐसा नहीं होता है. दैट इज व्हाट कि अगर हाई प्रायोरिटी जॉब अगर रेडी क्यू में अगर आ जाता है, नया जॉब जो है जिसकी प्रायोरिटी हाई है, तो वो उस सिचुएशन में लो प्रायोरिटी जॉब को रिप्लेस कर देगा और लो प्रायोरिटी जॉब विल गो फॉर लॉन्ग एंडिंग प्रोसेस एंड दिस मे गोज टू द केस ऑफ starvation. Okay, so this thing is not happened in your non-preference scheduling. Means high priority job or low priority job, priority is not at all entertained in your non-preference scheduling. That means a process when it is coming with the high priority also has to wait until the first one gets terminated or it goes in the waiting state. Okay, fine. So what is the primitive scheduling attains the flexible by allowing the critical process to access the CPU as they arrive into the ready queue, no matter what process is currently executing. So primitive scheduling is flexible. That means if the higher priority job is coming, then CPU will interrupt the current execution and it will entertain the new process to be executed, right? But non-preemptive scheduling is really very rigid and it will not going to entertain the new process even if it is having the higher priority, right? So primitive scheduling has to maintain the integrity of the shared data. That is why it is cost is associated, which is not applicable in the non-primitive scheduling. So this is very important, right? So in primitive scheduling, we are maintaining the integration of integrity of the sharing of the data, which is having low cost as compared to the non-primitive scheduling. So next, let's a quick review on SRTO, right? Just a case study. Not I'm not solving here the numerical. So in the shortest remaining time first, the algorithm, the process with the smallest amount of time remaining until the completion is selected to be executed. See what is going to be happen. That process will take for execution, which will be having the least time burst time remaining time will be there. That means if we see these two processes P1 and P2, one is having the duration of 9 and another one is duration of 2. So out of these two, when the let's suppose this is of order 1 and this is of order 2, right? So for sometimes when the arrival time is not same, it may so happen that CPU will take the first one for certain period of time. But if at the second P2 arrives, then out of these two, it will be 7 remaining and it will be 2. So the P2 will be entertained because it is having the less CPU burst time. So that is all explanation is given here. So what is the what will be the waiting time for P1? P1 के लिए waiting time क्या हो जाएगा 4 minus 2, right? Fine. 4 minus 2 is equals to 2. And what is the waiting time for P2? It will be only 0. So what will be the average time? Average time will be your 0 plus 2 divided by 2, that is equals to 1. So I think this would be quite clear to you, right? Okay. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of the previous algorithm? So first of all, let us take about advantages. Shorter process will be handled quickly. It's very obvious, that is the timing which is having the algorithm which is having low prior shortest time will be entertained first. The system also requires very little overhead, right? This type of scheduling algorithm is really, they are having a very little overhead, right? Okay, fine. When the new process is added to the algorithm, only need to compare the currently executing process with the new process and ignoring all other process that is currently being executed. That means what? The race is being in between two processes only. We don't have to check all the process. That is a very good point we are having in the SRTF, right? We don't have to analyze all the process. We will check just two process and which one will be slower, lesser will be entertained first. Okay, like shortest job first, it has there are some disadvantages also. Like SGF, it has having potential for the process starvation. See, as if I have already told you, if I am having a job which is having a longer CPU time, and always the new job which is coming is having the lower CPU burst time. That means जो रेडी क्यू में पहले ही प्रोसेस है उसका जो टाइमिंग है सपोज 100 यूनिट्स है, और जो बाकी जो नए नए जो प्रोसेस आ रहे हैं उसका किसी का 40 है, किसी का 30 है, किसी का 20 है, तो इसका मतलब तो 100 को तो कभी तो सीपीयू मिलेगा ही नहीं. सो इट विल गोज टू योर प्रोसेस स्टार्वेशन, राइट. सो लॉन्गर प्रोसेस में हेल्ड फॉर इनडेफिनेटली, और अगर ऐसा अगर हुआ तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि जो लॉन्गर प्रोसेस है वो काफी देर तक उनको या उसको कभी भी ना मिले. करेक्ट. Fine. So now just go for some case study about this your SRTF, non-preemptive. SRTF is also known as non-preemptive, right? Okay. So this is this scheduling process that selects the waiting process with the smallest execution time to execute the next. That I have already told you, right? And but SGN is not your primitive algorithm; it is your non-primitive algorithm. See, SGM is non-primitive and its primitive algorithm is known as shortest job, shortest remaining job first, right? Okay, fine. So shortest job first has the advantage of having minimum average time among all the scheduling algorithms. That is very important. जिसके जिसकी जिस जॉब की सीपीयू टाइम से कम होगा तो इसका नेचुरल से इसका जो एवरेज वेटिंग टाइम है वो कम हो जाएगा, राइट. बिकॉज दिस एल्गोरिथम इज अ ग्रीडी एल्गोरिथम, राइट. ओके फाइन. इट मे कॉज स्टारवेशन इफ द शॉर्टर प्रोसेस कीप्स कमिंग, राइट. अगर बार बार अगर शॉर्टर जॉब्स अगर हमेशा के लिए आ रहे हैं तो ये स्टारवेशन किसके लिए हो जाएगा, विच इज हैविंग द हायर CPU time, right? It is practically infeasible in operating system. That is why it is not being used in today's operating system, right? इसके और भी कुछ points हैं which are only meant for I have just used for your notes and all that, right? Okay. So basically this algorithm किस चीज के ऊपर बेस है उसको थोड़ा सा वी शुड हैव टू डिस्कस. Sort all the process according to the arrival time. How the algorithm works? First of all, it sort according to the arrival time, right? Then the process that process is selected, which is having the minimum arrival time and the minimum burst time. That is very important. See, सीपीयू उस प्रोसेस को लेगा जिसका अराइवल टाइम भी कम है और जिसका बर्स्ट टाइम भी कम है, राइट. आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ ए प्रोसेस make a pool of process which after till which is it goes till the completion of previous process and select that process among the pool which is having the minimum burst time. See, the same thing I have already discussed with you. सबसे पहले सीपीयू करता क्या, मैं थोड़ा सा मैं इसको हिंदी में बताऊं. सबसे पहले सीपीयू करता क्या है, उस प्रोसेस को लेता है जिसका सबसे कम अराइवल टाइम है और सबसे कम बस टाइम है. उसके बाद क्या करेगा, वो उस प्रोसेस को लेगा जिसका जो अराइवल टाइम है इससे थोड़ा सा अधिक हो लेकिन उसका जो बस टाइम है थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हो, राइट. तो सबसे पहले इट विल स्टार्ट विद द स्मॉलेस्ट वन, देन लार्जर एंड इट विल बिहेव इन बोथ ऑफ देम. दैट इज इन अराइवल टाइम. So let us talk about priority CPU scheduling with different arrival times, right? So priority scheduling is non-preemptive that I have already discussed with you, and it is most common scheduling in which is used in batch system, right? Okay. Each process is having its own first arrival time, that is also known as less arrival time first, right? If the two processes have been the same arrival time, then we will go for the highest priority, right? See, So priority scheduling algorithm, when we are talking about priority scheduling algorithm, first of all we have to emphasize on arrival time, and if they are having the same arrival time, then we will go for the highest priority. If the two process is having same priority, right, then we will compare the process number. That means we will go for FCFS. Process number means we will go for FCFS. This process is repeated while all the process gets executed. So in such type of things, it is less chance of having the problem of starvation, right? When we are talking about implementation, so how it will be implemented, let's see one by one. So first, input the process in with their arrival time, first time, and the priority. Means we have to look after all these things. What is the arrival time? What is the burst time? And what is the priority? Right? Okay. Sort the process according to the arrival time. Yes, it is very important because the process will be taken according to the arrival time only. First of all, process will be taken on the basis of arrival time. Then we will emphasize on priority. And if the priority will be same, then we will go for FCFS. So here I have taken one small example to make you understand how it works. So suppose we are having 5 processes, that is 0, 5, 12, 2 and 9. And we are having, if we are having burst time 11, 28, 2, 10 and 16. And if they are having the priority, that is 2, 0, 3, 1, 4. See, here I am taking that 0 is having highest priority. You may take as low also, right? So how we will arrange this thing? We will see, this is the case study, right? How we will arrange the things. So first the arrival time is P1, so P1 will come first. After that, at the second instance of time, P4 has came. So this is P4, right? Are you getting my point? Okay, fine. Then at time 5, P2 has came. So P2 is here. Next, P5 at the 9, P5 is there, and P3 at. So such type of Gantt chart, first of all, it will be prepared. Then we will talk about its average waiting time. Right? Okay, fine. So let's take what are the important things that we have covered so far in this video. That is, primitive scheduling is a process that is switching from running to ready state or to running to waiting state, right? Second one, that is the resources, that is mainly we are talking about CPU cycle, which is allocated to a process for the limited amount of time. This is very important, right? Okay. So what are the good examples of this? That is, round robin is non-preemptive, sorry, primitive. SRTF, it is primitive, and priority scheduling algorithm is also primitive. If you're talking about non-preemptive algorithm, right, it is FCFS, right? That means the process terminates, then only the CPU will release the process, right? Or the process should goes from running state to waiting state. Okay. So in this type of scheduling, the CPU will be allocated to the process and will hold the process until its termination. Okay, in preemptive scheduling, we are having the CPU is allocated to the process for the limited time, where the non-preemptive, the CPU is allocated to the process and till it terminates, right? So here I have taken some difference. What is the difference? CPU will be allocated for the limited time in the preemptive, and in non-preemptive it will be allocated till it terminates. Next one is the execution time is in the primitive scheduling algorithm will be may be interrupted in the middle, but in the non-primitive algorithm, no such type of interruption is allowed in the middle of the execution. So let's talk about the references. So these are the good references, and if you want to excel your knowledge, so you can go through these websites. And if you want to go for some videos, so certainly we are having some good videos on the YouTube. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.